I'm employed as a counsellor with the Victorian AIDS Council. I haven't long been in Melbourne. Prior to coming to Melbourne, I was working as a sexual abuse counsellor in Perth. And previous to that, I was the director of the Gay and Lesbian Counselling Service in Western Australia, so a lot of my work there was counselling over the telephone and some face-to-face work.
And what could I expect, or somebody coming into counselling expect from a counselling session? What goes on in it?
I guess, people have this sort of sense that counselling is a bit like you see in the movies, and they come in expecting, to spend a few hours with you and you're going to fix all their problems and then life's going to be wonderful ever after. And the reality, it's not like that. I see my role as a counsellor as helping them through processes of change which result in a greater awareness, and then when we have an awareness about why we're doing things or how we're doing them, we're then able to make some informed choices and positive choices so that we can clients therefore make sort of long-term changes in their life.
What sort of personal and emotional issues do you find are common to your clients?
For somebody coming out, I guess the main one is isolation, feeling like they are the only person who's going through this. And I think for lots of young gay men, it's the fact that they don't feel that they fit the stereotypical image that's so often portrayed in the media of a gay male. So if they're not young and don't perceive themselves as attractive, then they have problems in coming to terms with how they see themselves fitting in the gay community. So I think low self-esteem is probably one of the main issues that we tend to work with.
As well as counselling, what other services are offered by VAC? We
have a group called Momentum, which are sort of 6 to 8 week groups for men. We have young and gay programs for younger men that are coming out. Momentum also includes programs for relationships, so if a man wants to come along with his partner. We have an IDU program, which is our injecting drug use program, which are campaigns directed to people in the gay and lesbian community who are intravenously using. We also offer a needle exchange service. We'll give information to people on injecting drug use.
Is there still a perceived division between HIV positive and negative men, do you think?
I would like to think that it's not as much of a division as it was. The Positive Plus Negative Equals One campaign, I think, helped bridge the gap. I think at the beginning it was very much that it was seen as though negative people were running the campaigns and on boards and things like that. So nowadays, there are a lot more positive people on various boards and on staff and things like that. So it stopped. I think that has helped, bridge the gap.
Given the new treatments available, what sort of financial issues are facing HIV positive gay men at the moment?
Poverty is very definitely the main one. As you say, with the new treatments, people are living a lot longer and a lot healthier. So, 10 years ago they might have cashed in superannuation policies and sold their house and had world trips, and for some of them that were able to do that, thinking that they wouldn't be around in 10 years' time. And now that not only are they still here 10, 15 years later, but a lot of them are now getting well and wanting to head back into the workforce, perhaps not in jobs as high stress level jobs they might have been in before. So they're looking at ways of re-entering the workforce. So we need to be looking at things like sort of retraining courses for people who do want to come back into the workforce. But poverty is very much an issue that they experience.
What groups do you think are at the moment are currently affected by HIV or at risk from HIV?
Everybody is still at risk of HIV/AIDS, and it's not a group. It's never been a group issue. It's about behaviours. So it's about people adopting safe-sex behaviours to keep themselves safe. So yeah, the whole community is still at risk of HIV/AIDS.
Is there any particular group that VAC is aiming its education towards at the moment?
Still gay men. But that is our mandate. That's our primary target, is gay men.
I was living in Canberra at the time, and Phil was up there for 6 months or so. He was living in Melbourne, and a friend of mine had his birthday party.
I usually use the word partner mainly because it can be either sex sort of thing, and there's no really need to take that conversation or anything else to the next level and say I'm gay. And
after the food and that part of the celebration, we went back to one of the gay bars in Canberra. Well, I think there was only one at that point in time, which is the Meridian Club. Another friend of mine was trying to chat him up, so
Tragedy City.
I made myself known, and I won.
It wasn't until we'd been living together 6 months that we actually realised that we'd never actually discussed moving in. It just was a natural progression in the relationship, and it was right. And it's basically ever since day one, I've never had any problems living with Blair.
If Phil's upset with something I've done, I can tell, and we'll talk about it or whatever, resolve it.
We can be in different states for one reason or another, and yet we still both know how the other one's feeling, or if the other one's having a rough day or something like that. I would put it into soulmate territory. I'd actually say that we've connected on a higher plane and all that sort of stuff.
We share the responsibility between ourselves for keeping the house. That Phil doesn't mind cooking, whereas I hate cooking. So he's more than welcome to do that. On the whole, our friends are both of our friends. It's fairly rare that I'll go out and socialise with anybody without Phil. So, and vice versa.
It's not just sex, it's you wanting to share the waking up with someone in the next morning, or going shopping with them, doing the mundane things, like going and paying the bills and all those sorts of things.
Some people who are very happy hitting the scene and meeting new people every night, having the one night stand or having a different partner each night of the week. Perhaps they might be repeat partners, but they're content, they're happy with their life, and that's fine. If that's where they're at, if that's what makes them happy, well, that's fine.
Gay relationships, there's no blueprint. There's no, you can, like, if you're happy in a relationship with yourself and 5 other guys, then if that's what makes everyone happy in that relationship, then that's a relationship that works for those 6 people.
Perhaps a lot of have serial monogamy, go from relationship to relationship, but when they are in a relationship, they'll be monogamous to their partner. We're 100% monogamous in our relationship, and very happy.
Well, everyone that's spoken to me reckons that it was the best wedding and that they've been to. A lot of our gay friends, it started the ball rolling for them. They're sort of thinking along the lines of commitment ceremonies.
We had a lot of straight people at our wedding as well, and a lot of them commented that it was one of the nicest ceremonies that they've ever been to as well. So,
hey, this is a relationship. You know, this person means as much to me as your wife does to you, sort of thing. It's formal recognition, basically.
Yeah.
So we have been asked, but we basically, because I want kids and I'm slowly talking him round, it would be a case of we would want to have a very active role in the children's upbringing and everything else, which these two lesbians didn't want. They just basically wanted to give us the jar full and never see us again.
we would feel some responsibility to the child. If, for example, the two mothers ever got into financial hardships or whatever, we would have wanted to have been there because it's our child. We would have wanted to help with so that the child had the best life possible. If we could find a lesbian couple who we got on well with and they were soulmates to each other as well, hey, yeah, we go for it then.
The child would have two mums and two dads, basically. Twice as much love.
What's good for me? The support that I get, the love that I receive from Phil. I feel good about loving him as well, and that gives me a lot of pleasure.
When I first met him, I thought he was such a strong, rock-solid individual, and he's just a great big marshmallow of a person. He's not what I expected on first impressions, but I'm glad of that because I think I've got someone who's 1,000 times better.
We're massaging the back here.
Start on the back, yes, for several reasons, because it's an area that most people feel more comfortable being touched on, and also because it's the one area that usually has the most problems.
And what type of oil are you using here?
It's cold pressed sunflower oil with some sweet almond and lavender essential oil.
The lavender obviously has relaxation properties?
Well, lavender is usually pretty good for almost everything, so it's pretty handy to have that in just a basic massage oil. So you spread the oil around. This is called a figure 8, and then just rowing. This is to get the person used to contact and also so I can feel what's going on underneath the skin in the muscles. You'd start off asking them what they know about massage, and if they haven't had a massage before, give them a rough explanation, see if they have any questions, and see what areas need the major work. Normally it's either lower back, neck and shoulders, backside, legs.
Major muscle groups.
Major muscle groups, the ones that they tend to abuse the most.
And what are you doing here now?
This is called kneading. And this
Obviously so because it's like dough.
It is, yes. If you get a good body and they're relaxing, muscles will actually move under your pressure as opposed to being rock solid. And what I'm going to do is move his arm into such a position that I can get to the muscles under his shoulder blade here.
To expose the shoulder blade a little.
Yes, and all the muscles that are between the spine and the shoulder blade, I can now reach with them in a better position to relax them.
You can see that.
Okay, so shoulder blades are quite amazing. They are what attaches your arm to your body, but they're basically just float around on your rib cage, and all the things that hold them there are muscles going up, down and sideways.
And I see you're supporting his shoulder as well.
Well, I can drive the shoulder blade whichever way I want it then. And Chris is pretty relaxed, so there's not a lot of trouble here. So once again, just spread the oil, long flowing strokes.
Upways.
Upways, yes.
Toward the heart.
Oh, you've done this before.
No, I took a wild guess.
Okay. That's because you want to encourage the flow of blood back to the heart. The heart will pump the blood out to the extremities, and muscle movement and the back pressure will continue taking it back to the heart. Yeah, if you get things moving, it's going to work better than stagnating. So then again I go to the kneading strokes.
Kneading.
Okay, so these start off light and get deeper and deeper, these massage strokes. And this allows me to feel what's going on in Chris's calf muscle. There's a little bit of tension there, but once again, I think he's just a relaxed person. You've
You're
chosen.
kind of identifying the areas which might need a little bit more work at this stage.
Well, you're doing two things. You're getting the body acclimatised to pressure on that area and finding out what's going on deeper down. Okay, and this is a bit more involved, getting more stretch.
You're turning inside out. Oh, heavens.
Okay, just a bit of support under his knee, which is good, friends. And I'm holding his pelvis down so he can't cheat. Take a deep breath in and out. One more time. And now lifting his knee up will increase the stretch. You've got it? Okay. I've heard of other people who've gone for a massage and had a couple of stiff drinks before they go in, which I think is a little bit, well, unnecessary, but if they're feeling nervous and it helps them relax, fair enough.
Like taking a long plane flight.
Well, it could be, or anything for the first time, I suppose, is a bit, you're not sure what's going to happen. It's called a lumbar roll. So you're stretching down across this area and giving it a spiral twist.
And his shoulders are still on the.
Aiming to keep them towards the table. So if you can take a deep breath, Chris. Out. Once more, please. And look. So we increase the stretch on the out breath and big breath last time. Okay.
And here you're using your knuckles.
It just tends to be you change around all the time. If you use the one position like fingers, thumbs all the time, you'll just end up getting sore fingers, sore thumbs. So just keep on changing. And also for different positions, just you can use hands like that. Yeah, it just feels the right thing to do. Pretty much feeling just for, well, areas of tension. There's a few lumps here.
A few knots.
Well, knots gives people the wrong idea. The muscles don't actually turn around on themselves and knot, they just tighten up. So it's almost like halfway towards getting a cramp. And these muscles do lots of work. They hold your shoulder blades in place so you can move your arms. They also attach the back of your head, so in order to hold your head up you need these muscles too. With the chest you can work above the head and do both sides at once. Okay, then we start once again with a kneading stroke along the chest muscles, starting here, working towards the middle. And there's the bone in the middle, sorry about that. So you don't go too deep there, and then find the muscle again this side, work to the end. Now with this one you can grab it as well. Okay, we'll just check how his head moves. We've gone both directions, it goes pretty well. It actually goes further this way.
Which side do you carry your bag on?
Right.
So is it tight there, or?
Yeah.
And you feel it, what, in that area?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll just put his head in that position and then just stretch your shoulder down. You take a deep breath in and out. Once more. Out.
Well, that brings us almost to the end of the massage session. James, thank you so much.
Thank you too.
And Chris, thank you. Chris is almost asleep. And of course, we're here at the PLWHA Centre in Ackland Street.
Once upon a time, there was a little black girl in the Brewster Projects of Detroit, Michigan. At 15, she was spotted by an Ebony Fashion Fair talent scout, and her modeling career took off.
You better work. I have one thing to say. You better work.
Now this is the, here we go, this is the Adelphi here, and you can see it's very stylish, and they've got, I'll just lift that up so that we can see all the little hors d'oeuvres there. We would have put the filter on if we'd known.
Oh, thank you.
How lovely does, oh, where's your straw?
Oh, no straw tonight.
No.
Wrong colour lipstick.
What do we have here?
We have velouto here with the Mediterranean vegetables there, which are lovely. The salmon with the roe and the dill, and also the duck confit, which is absolutely wonderful.
Oh, it all looks very appetizing.
Very appetizing. Can I tempt you with something?
Well, do you have any, something like baked beans?
Yeah, something, this looks a little like baked beans. So the salmon roll, you could probably pass it for baked beans. Yeah, and that'll be a lot better for you than baked beans. I tell you.
What are the little orange things?
They're little eyes of the salmon. They pick them out individually from each salmon.
They're not unlike baked beans, are they?
Not unlike at all.
Oh my, now you're going to have to eat that.
Are you game? I don't know about fish eggs.
Oh no, I love
Hold
them.
the microphone.
Just take one mouthful. You're going to rub off your lipstick. Oh my, that's an ugly sight.
You got a doggy bag? No, I'll put it...
Hey darling, I'll have the rest.
I'll eat that later. It's really very nice. I'm just having a joke with you. Fantastic. Thank you.
Thanks guys.